Get myself situated here. Get my YouTube side open so I can interact like. Be careful. And I'm almost there. Do 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 do. And I'm ready. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday morning to one and all, and your little dog too. Yeah, we got the bum crack picker, we got the Jabus, we got the Ping G, we got the Chastity, we got the Sandy, and we got the Robin. And we got the Anissa. Yeah. What are we going to talk about this morning? Let's talk about it being Monday. You know, Mondays, I used to kind of, yeah, it was the promise of a new week, and yet had to get up and go to work. And now I'm retired. I don't have to get up and go to work. Mondays are awesome. Chastity's dog said good morning.
It has been a good morning.
It's not bad.
I've started a load of clothes. I've started a roast for dinner. I've set up 2 drafts for eBay because I gotta go take the pictures, and I set up 2 drafts for Whatnot Buy It Now. I gotta take the pictures for that too. So it's been industrious and I've been to the grocery store to get stuff to fix the roast with for 9 o'clock in the morning.
Ping's gonna leave early because she's going to the happiest place on earth. And that would be Disneyland.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the Cheetah Lounge in Spartanburg.
The Cheetah Lounge?
Yes.
Tom is going to do a whatnot?
I'm not. I'm just got some. I'm starting off slowly. I'm just going to list some stuff on the Buy It Now section, see to get familiar with the shipping and all that kind of stuff on it. What are you talking about? I always do the cooking.
Because you put a roast on and you did laundry? Hey, Hank.
Hey, Hank.
I like my roast tender. I like it slow cooked until it's just basically falling apart.
That's the way I do it in a crock pot.
Hey, Derek.
I like it. I like the juice on rice better than I do the extra meat.
The what?
The gravy, the juice that you cook, the broth that you cook it in after it's cooked all day. I like that. I like that on.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what they say at the entrance? Disney, welcome to the happiest place on earth, Disneyland.
It is for the children, but not for the parents that spent $1,000 for a family of 5 to get in for one day.
I got extremely tired of theme parks taking groups of students to theme parks over the years. I don't like going to theme parks any longer. They just,
I used to go to Carowinds quite often because it's convenient. I guess it's like people going to Disneyland or Disney World. But And several times my friends and I drove to Six Flags down in Atlanta for the day. Drove down, went to Six Flags all day, drove all the way back. I've been to Disney World once in 1977 when you paid admission and then you bought tickets to ride the rides. That's the only time I've been there. And Roberta and I went to Universal back in 95. And the only reason we did that was because we went down for a shuttle launch. Roberta had a co-worker that had a project on the shuttle, and he got us some passes to go down there. That's it. I've been to Tweetsie Railroad more times than I can count. Ghost Town probably 5 or 6 times.
Did you say Tweaker Railroad?
Tweetsie Railroad.
Oh,
Google it, people.
Must be something I don't know about. Tweetsie Railroad.
It's just an old. I don't remember. The gauge is off. It's not your normal gauge. It's more like a mining gauge. Anyway, it's been around since I was a small child. I think what's his name? Thomas. Thomas is there now. You know, Thomas the Tank Engine.
What are you whining at? Can you hear her whining?
Yeah.
Her mama went for a walk and didn't take her. Oh, so mistreated. Tweaker Railroad is in downtown Charlotte.
Yeah, it's down there by the stadium. So anyway, I've been kind of trying to be industrious today.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to take kids, but I haven't been around any kids in quite a while. Daphne, what are you doing?
I guess I'll have to take Oliver to
What are you doing?
Disney World. That way I can go. Because nobody wants to go.
Just a sec.
I honestly don't know how many times I've been to Disney. 4 times. All right, Beard. I'll go find it after he wraps up. I watched Todd's this morning about his auction. Swamp, you never went down to, what was it, Six Flags over New Orleans, or didn't New Orleans have a Six Flag park? Anyway, how's everybody else since Todd's gone? I will just try to keep things going. How is everybody else's weekend gone? Okay. But because wasn't it the Six Flag Park that got washed out during the hurricane? And they just recently started tearing it down?
Which one was that?
The one in Louisiana. Because that's where they filmed part of Jurassic World at. And not Taylor Swift, the other one. She did one of her music videos there.
Not Taylor Swift, the other one.
Yeah, the other one that sounds like Taylor Swift.
Ozzie Smith?
No, not Ariana Grande either. Or Cappuccino Grande, as I call her. What's her name? dark hair, does the Egyptian movie where she talks about the Italian, Katy Perry. Thank you, sweetheart. Katy Perry did a music video there. How did your Whatnot show do, Chastity? Sorry. I was preoccupied with family over the weekend. I didn't even make it to Joni's on Saturday. Our granddaughter was born last night at 26 weeks.
Oof. That's kind of premature.
1 pound, 8 ounces. I have a niece. She's 13 now. She was a NICU baby. She was a really NICU baby. She was there for months.
Spawn of Satan. Micro preemie.
Yeah. Yeah, Lord. You're in our prayers. Being that we got one in the oven right now too, so. And Saturday we went up to Roberta's parents' house so she could meet her new great nephew. And he was so cute. He was so tiny. And he slept the whole time. He ate and he slept. I guess that's what babies do. I don't remember because my boys weren't babies when we got them. Sergey was 10 months old and the twins were 2.5. No, I'm talking about my. Scott said Roberta's pregnant. No, my daughter-in-law. And then yesterday we went down to my mom's house because my cousin was up. And my brother and his wife was there. And their daughter, Savannah, and her 4 children. She's the one that's got them. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. And I didn't do much of nothing else the rest of the weekend. So I'm trying to get started this morning. Hey, Harry. Mr. Sadie. They're really pushing your beer on YouTube. Sales must be off. You're not drinking enough. Did you dry out? Okay. I asked Chastity a question. Did she ever respond to me? And I wasn't paying attention. Chastity, I made a few sales, gained some followers. I learned a lot on what to do and what to not to do. I'm with you that, Mr. Sadie. I'm with you on that whole time. So, Chastity, what did you learn, if you care to share, what did you learn not to do? You okay, Todrick?
What?
I said, are you okay?
No. But I'll be fine.
Random pull. We'll preload for the next one. Okay. Yeah. It's just my opinion. I like the preloaded ones because it moves along a lot faster. But that's my opinion. I think Scott likes pull them out of the box and selling them that away. Not Todd, Scott. So, did you sell any of your auction buys over the weekend, Todd?
I sold another box of toner from that bunch. I didn't sell much this weekend. It was pretty slow. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of listing of this stuff yet.
Just the quick sales? Or what you would think would be
Been
quick
still
sales?
sorting stuff.
The toner cartridges?
We spent basically the whole weekend moving my mother-in-law back in here, and
Was she
just
at her house or was she in like
stuff.
assisted living?
Plus, I got sick at my gut all weekend.
Dang.
I ate something that gave me the, I needed some of Beard's ass pads. Almost. A couple of times I almost needed them.
In your video, when you first going in the building, all the lockers had like graffiti painted on it. Was that something they did in the school, or was that like vandals? Or do you know?
No, it wasn't graffiti. It was like student artwork.
Okay. Which I like graffiti. We have a graffiti art gallery here in town.
I mean, some graffiti is art, but it, I mean, like the stuff we saw all over Italy was not. And most of like Germany didn't have any. Switzerland, they didn't have any graffiti. Not in the places we went anyway. Germany and Switzerland are pretty clean areas like that, but Italy, man, it was everything that could be reached had graffiti on it. Porn doesn't count as art. But yeah, those hallways were lots of positive statements written all over that, you know.
Right.
Today you can make a plan, you know, lots of positive signage and uplifting sayings and stuff. What you do now will live with you the rest of your life, so live well, you know, that kind of thing. They need to release their expressions. Held their feelings in and liked it.
When I was in junior high, all the lockers were painted like a bank of lockers would start off with like orange, pink, blue, green, and then it would start all over again. And really the pink was more of a peach color. But anyway, the classrooms were painted. I mean, the whole classroom was painted with the same color, but they also were the same, you know, pink, peach and orange and blue and green. And years later, I had a secretary that her son left his book, his math book, in his mom's car. And so I was going to meet a client, and I was going that direction. So I went by there and dropped his book off at the office. And as I was going in, I just noticed that everything was like institutional tan. And I went into the office to drop off the book. And one of the girls I went to high school was the assistant principal there. And I said, "What happened to all the colorful lockers in classrooms?" She said, "Oh, that didn't last." She said, "I think they changed that colors right after we graduated from 9th grade." And the principal that we had was still there. He was getting ready to retire. He said that was just too bright. That was just too much to get them energized first thing in the morning. So there's your story of the day.
I've heard that before, that you should do calming colors for schools.
Yeah.
No colors in the asylum.
Mr. Sadie, you're so bad. When I was in high school, we had our head cafeteria lady. She ran the cafeteria. She ran it with a stainless steel spoon too. You act up in that cafeteria, you're liable to get your ass beat with the daggum, one of those long commercial spoons.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't care whether you were 18 or 15. You're liable to get swatted with that thing. She did not play. But everybody liked our cafeteria food because she cooked it like she was cooking at home, not the way the manual says. So you didn't have many sales over the weekend, Todd?
No, just about I don't know, 300, something like that. Better than nothing, but it was not up to my goal and standard, I guess.
Right.
Oh, I have a new offer. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum.
Was that one canceled included in the 5 sales, or is that 5 sales and then you had another one that was canceled?
So anyway, sales sucked.
Well, you weren't listing any because you were out on the road all week.
Man, it was a long week last week.
I bet you were tired. And then over the weekend, you were helping your mother-in-law move?
Yeah, so Monday I did my auction pickup at Killeen Auction, and then Tuesday I went and did the auction at Waco High and brought home a load. Wednesday, all day long getting the stuff. Thursday, all day long getting stuff. And renting a storage room. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday moving my mother-in-law back in. It was a long week.
It sounds like it.
And then I got diarrhea on top of it, so I was like, we're having so much fun now. Ugh.
Did you take your Imodium AI or ID or whatever it's called? The super strength one?
No, I'll just get over it. It's not serious. I don't hurt.
Right.
It's just my gut starts rumbling and I gotta go. And
Well, just
then after I'm good for a few more hours, and then starts all over again.
if you have to go, just
Oh, don't worry about me.
just go, just jump and run. I'll
If I
try to cover for you.
if I feel the need, I'm just gonna. This show is secondary importance to my need to go. Yeah, right, Jabez, you asshole.
Oh, that's nasty, bum crack.
What do you say?
Oh, he says, the silver hair splattered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the, well, never mind. Colonoscopy stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've
Kinda,
never had anything until you had that.
kind of like that feeling, the colonoscopy prep.
Yeah. But that just falls out of you. You don't have to do anything. So, what you got on your agenda today?
I got to do a whole lot more sorting
Right.
of all the stuff I've gotten. Do some listing. Ship out my little 6 orders.
What do you think? What do you want to be your first when you start listing? What do you want to try and get listed first? The telescopes,
I already did the toner.
right? The microscopes, the robotic stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to handle all the robotics. Some of that robotic stuff is just boxes of screws and washers and bolts, and I don't know what it all goes to. But I'm sure it would sell.
Are they just everything's loose? Or are they in little Ziplocs? Or
It had been in little open top bins, but the way they were shoved in those totes, they all, at least half of them, spilled out into the bottom of the totes. So I got a lot of sorting to do. Yeah, Jabus, I've listed 3 of the self-stirring hot plates already. I gotta find the rest of them. I had like 4 or 5 of the really good ones, and I've only dug around and found 2 of them so far.
Is it supposed to rain this weekend?
It rained this morning. This weekend?
Well, what I was going to get to is just start building piles around your pool. Sorting them out in your backyard. That way you have plenty of space to just quickly sort stuff.
That's why I rented that storage unit. I'll do it over there. Cooking show. No.
James, that sounds like something from Harry Potter. The self-stirring pot. Mix your potions in it. That's what you need to put in the description. Self-stirring. Mix your perfect for mixing your portions. Potions.
Yeah, I have a couple of big cardboard boxes that all it has in it is like laboratory glass, like beakers and test tubes. But they're all dirty. I have to run them all through the dishwasher or something.
Yeah.
I definitely bought a project.
Yep, you did, but you got a lot of stuff to
Cha-ching! I accepted the offer. Just so Anissa could hear a cha-ching this morning. Because she gets all pissy if I don't get a cha-ching in the mornings.
Well, usually if you get one, then other people start getting one.
She says, "Wee!" Daphne, what are you into now? Hey, Daphne. Daphne,
like
what are you
having
doing?
a small child.
You stay out of stuff. It's crazy what she drags out the house into the backyard.
She doesn't have any toys.
No. We find Gwen's underwear and all kinds of shoes and a couple of my ball caps and whatever she can lay her mouth on.
Yeah, Beard, you're right on that. Well, Scott should send some of his 3X's to Daphne so she can have something to play with in the backyard.
Pissy Nissy.
How was your Scott? How was your weekend? Damn, you just harsh, Scott.
So do sellers on whatnots get ratings?
I try not to because it'll irritate the hell out of you till you do it. How was Joni's show, Scott?
I forgot to watch.
Well, we were in transit while that was going on.
I was probably sitting on the pot.
I'll tell you what, a trip of 2 hours or more just kills me. Scott. So anyway, I just saw her go by. Daphne she go by the end of your desk. I'm going to try and get a bunch of stuff listed today. I'm trying to start the week off. Roberta needs $5,000 for our next cruise so she can just move into the casino and not have to leave. Well, that's good. That's good. Just a bunch of odds and ends. Some vacuum cleaner belts and what else do I have over there? I have some bicycle stuff. I have they're for black powder pew pews. They're like a sling that you can put little like test tubes of powder and pellets in it. Just a bunch of everything. Spam, she did a good job, you say? She's a lot more personable than Scotty. She's a lot prettier, too. Joni, Chastity says Joni did great. Well, if you've got shows scheduled, be sure to let me know. Message me, and I'll put a scroller at the foot of my page with people's shows that are coming up. I don't mind. If you want to do a 10-second commercial, hi, this is Chastity, and I'm going to be selling a lot of stuff. Send it to me. I'll throw you in a commercial break. Or any of the rest of you. So anyhow,
yeah, every time Tom tries to sound girly, it doesn't come out real
I know.
great.
I know. I'm just y'all remember. I'm gonna start charging for abuse. I'm gonna start having this thing. If you want to abuse Tom, make a donation. Buy him a cup of coffee. Then my feelings won't get hurt. But yeah, if you're doing even a YouTube show, if you're doing anything and you got it scheduled, let me know what it is, and I'll try to run a do or do not. There is no try. Sorry, that popped in my head. I'll scroll it across the bottom of the screen.
That was worse than your girly impression.
I know. I'm not a Yoda.
Well, I never mistook you for a Yoda.
I'm as old as Yoda, but I'm not. Is that what it is? There is no try. Oh Lord, you people! But why aren't you people on the comedy circuit? Y'all think y'all so funny?
Hey, this is my show. A lot of my guests are funny. Just ask them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a degree in English, Chaz? You're supposed to be writing a book or something. Or is this all fodder for your book?
That'd be a boring book.
I am a reseller queen, and the idiots I had to deal with. Chapter 2, dealing with old people. Two of the sweetest guys, one from North Carolina, one from Texas. They could be sweet guys, but every once in a while they would be real buttholes.
I'd rather watch paint dry than read that.
And Scott's worth at least 3 chapters.
The life and times of the reselling clan.
Yeah. Real buttholes. Yeah, that's us. My neighbor that's got the house, and I keep telling Jake he needs to start doing also. They have a bunch of real property, Joe and Tammy, and she tells me all these horror stories that she's had. I told her she needed to write a book. Why not to get into the real estate rental business? Not for the faint of heart. Fiction or nonfiction, Chaz?
Bum, 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 bum.
Just a bunch of daggum writers in the chat. You got a bunch of intellectuals in your chat, Todd.
I know.
Promising writers.
Count Dooku.
I don't know any of the characters other than the original ones. I like the first movie, and then I like the first movie. Well, I think it's episode 4, and then when episode 1 came out, I liked it. The rest of it is just too much. It's like when they took Lord of the Rings and made 7 movies out of it. Too much. Did Hillary write a book? Actually, she wrote several, I think.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, I guess I need to go over to. I guess I need to go to the YouTubes and call up the show so I can give him a thumbs up.
So yeah, this week is all about sorting and listing, sorting and listing, sorting and listing.
Well,
and no more buying. I'm not allowed to buy until everything I have is listed. You believe that?
I am in the right.
Did I ask all the microphones yet? Ask them what? I think he means list. Microscopes. No, they're not listed. I started listing a microscope, and then the cord to it is still in the storage unit. So that's a problem with having a storage unit. It's not all here. So if you left a piece to something in the storage unit, you have to go back over there. I got lots of microscopes. I bet I've got at least 40.
And you got about three or four different brands, don't you?
Yep.
And then you got to see which ones work and don't work.
Yep. They all got to be plugged in and see if the light turns on and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's worth the time because I probably have 10 of this kind. And I don't know, you can look it up. Swift M2250, if anybody wants to look it up. I've got a they'll look like they ought to work. So they'll have, if I do a quantity listing, the problem with that is they'll have a serial number. I guess it won't take too much time to just sell similar and switch the
serial
number picture. But yeah, this is good.
Have you plugged any in yet to see if they light up or do whatever they do?
Yeah, I plugged this one in and the light turns on, so it's good. But the cord I used isn't the matching one, so I still got to go to the storage unit and get the right
cords,
the right cord for it.
And before you say something, excuse me just a second. Before you say anything, lag, yes, we didn't have light bulbs under our microscopes. We had to use candles. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, lag's about right there. I ain't doing free shipping. I'd rather sell them for $30 with shipping than $40 with free shipping.
You didn't get any slides with it that you could actually see if it works, did you?
I got a few slides. I haven't looked to see what they are yet. That may be where I got sick, handling laboratory stuff, fetal pigs, and
yeah.
Too much packing for $30? No, you stick them in a 16, 12, 8 box with some padding and pat them on the butt and send them out the door. Yep.
Does the eyepiece screw off?
Mm-hmm. Don't know.
Which you'd want to immediately cover that hole up. Oh, it. Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't feel like it screws off.
And
the eyepiece comes out. That's about it. Looks like you could screw off the top, but I don't want to take it apart and make a bigger mess. But it should fit in a 16, 12, 8 really fine. Let's see. 16 12/8 or what? Yeah, it's 14 tall, 10 wide. Yeah, 16 12/8 be perfect. That'll allow a lot of extra packing materials. Boxes cost $2 a piece. Good to go. Quantity of 10.
Lag said, I'd pass on those. Too much packing for $30. And they sell slow. Bearded Picker replied, Lag, don't bring logic to this. Todd is the worst full timer ever.
I never claimed to be full time.
Yeah, it might take 2 years, but at least he's got it and he's got it listed, and it's like money in the bank.
Yep.
But I like to see what all kinds of, or find out about all the robotic stuff that you got.
Bum, bum, bum. Jake told me he knew somebody that worked with a school or something, and he would ask them if they wanted some of the robotic stuff.
How much do you think you got in the microscopes?
Hell if I know. There was so much stuff in those labs, there's no telling. I would just have to keep a running total of everything I sell from that buy, and then just a year or two from now, I add it all up and subtract and see how I did.
Right. Because you got a lot of stuff. You got a lot of stuff.
Let's see, we sold $240 worth of toner, and we sold pig carcasses for $100. Yeah, it won't take a whole long time to break even on the deal.
Right.
And then it'll be just like Lag says, 6 to 8 months to get all this crap sold. But it's not a bad time to have school type laboratory projects or products, because we got a new school year starting in just a couple of months. Some of the smaller and poorer schools will be looking for good used equipment.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you got the time while you're sitting around watching your stories in the evening, the replay of your stories, maybe reach out to some like small private, like Christian schools, even the secular schools, and see if maybe you could do a bulk deal with them. But that would require you sitting down and sending an email to them and possibly having to respond, and that's probably just too much work. I don't know too many schools that make you bring your own microscope to school.
That's what he's saying. There isn't anybody going to require students to bring their own microscopes.
Yeah.
So my buyers are probably going to be schools.
one of the Cub Scout moms, when my boys were in Cub Scouts, she was a school teacher, and she always told, because they got a list of parents' emails addresses, and she would always send out an email saying, "Do not use the school list for my class." She said, "I'll send you a list of what they need." Because I mean, it was it's several $100s just to get a kid back to school. What happened to the days of the blue denim covered three ring binder, 6 composition books, some pencils, a pen, a ruler, and you were good to go. Now it's all this BS you got to have. Todd misses those school days. That was the thing about your job. You never had to worry about that kind of stuff. Well, you taught some regular classes too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, were those on like substituting, or were those like you were assigned 3rd period, 7th grade math?
What?
I said, did you act as a substitute for those classes, or were you actually assigned like 3rd period? You were teaching a 7th grade math class or something of that sort, English or history.
No, I was the classroom teacher for Texas history for 3 years and geography for 8 years and elementary PE for 8 years. And what else did I teach?
Harry, I was just thinking about that. We would take brown paper shopping bags from the grocery store and make book covers out of them. Were they the big ones, the ones that was about 3/4 inches in diameter, Jabus? Or were they the normal size? That was uncalled for, Beard. Jabus, what? Oh, the Ticonderoga. That was a brand of pencils. Lag. Like you don't know. Huh? Yeah, I was thinking about that. We didn't have backpacks either. When you were in school, you had like the little, I'm going to call them like little briefcases. But we didn't have backpacks then. And that's when we had real books. You youngsters like Lag don't realize how heavy those books used to be.
Half of the kids in America are on Medicaid. Half. What? That's a lot of kids.
Yeah. God dang, Scott. The opinion of members of the chat does not necessarily agree with the the panel members. Oh, Lord, Scott. Son, you'll never be able to run for political office unless you run for the senator from the great state of Alabama. weaklings. I don't have, what gets me about that, what he said about the kids on Medicaid. If they went to if their parents made a doctor's appointment and went to like a pediatrician instead of going to the emergency room and using them, that would, that's what gets me. Oh, Lord. That's bad, Chaz. Listen, skeletons in your closet doesn't mean anything, James. Because when you run for political office, you need to just go ahead and just bring all of that out to the front of just bring it all out front. James would be like, yes, reporter from the Charlotte Observer. I was arrested for trying to pick up college girls 5 times. Hey. Wait a minute. What was that about? Yeah. Okay.
Lag's got lots of skeletons.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Anywho. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I got to go.
All right. Yeah, it's time to get our weekend cracked off.
I'm really trying to get some stuff done today. I want to be rich as Todd.
Oh, boy.
And I'm not talking about with that investment pile that he's got going. Somebody called it investment pile or something like that instead of the debt pile or the death pile. I like that better. Todd's investing in his future.
All right.
I don't iron. If we got a special place that we need to go, I'll iron some shirts. But no, I don't iron.
Opportunity pile time.
Opportunity pile. That's it. Opportunity pile. That's the one.
Yep. All right. We'll see y'all on Tom's show in the morning. Gonna watch Primo Chemo at noon Central. Gonna watch John at 5 Central. So y'all have a good day.
All righty. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
End stream.